I'm sitting here with Lindsay McCarthy, author of The Miracle Morning for Parents and Families. This is day 4 of our Talking Together. We've talked about what a family meeting is, how to set one up, how to implement it. Now we're talking about how to make that work for you, because it works a little bit different for every family. So Lindsay's going to start how it works for her family.
Yeah, so the first meeting was talking all about what do we want to do at this meeting, right? So we asked, how often do we want to meet? What do we want to call this thing? What should be on the agenda? And through asking all those questions, we came up with a basic agenda, which was, start with gratitude. We also discussed what our high point moments were for the last week, because we think as humans, we have terrible memories and we are so focused on the negative. So if we can pull out those positive aspects from the last week, they'll stay in your memory a little bit longer. We also recite our family values. So, there's a whole nother exercise to find out what your unique family values are. And then we recite those each week. We review our goals. So in our family, each kid has a hard goal and a fun goal. And, we try to break those down. So what have you done for your hard goal this week? What have you done for your fun goal this week? And do you have any additional goals to add to that? We also go through what's our schedule look like, getting us all on the same page, who's going to do what, who's got what activities going on. And then the last, it's just open-ended, like what else do we need to cover? Sometimes summer vacation's coming up and we want to talk about where do we want to go for summer vacation, and let the kids have a voice in the important things like vacations or other travel, other things. Maybe there was a fight between our siblings and that needs to be discussed at the family meeting. Tyler really wants a cell phone, so he brought that up at the family meeting. Our daughter wanted to quit horseback riding, so she brought that up at the family meeting. And it's just a safe space where they know they have the voice and where they can talk about anything.
I know our kids are a little bit younger than your kids, and so we started this, and it does work a little bit differently with littler kids. I mean, we still do have, we start the shower in gratitude that Lindsay suggested, and that actually really did help change our meetings. We had a little bit of struggle. We tried to do the family values, but didn't quite work for us in that moment. So we did make a family expectation list together. So we go through that. I think someday we might get back to the family values because I really was enjoying that process. But again, everything can't be a mom. It has to be a family decision. We also went through, my son actually, ironically, you're talking about how the good things happen the week. We were doing what went well and then what we need to work on. And my son wanted to reverse that. He said, I want to get the negative out of the way and then focus more on the positive. So we started with what did go well, and then we could focus on what did well and spend more time on that. So that was his idea. We don't necessarily have the individual goals, but that actually sounds like a great idea. But we do have a family goal. And for a long time, for a while, it's been kindness. And we just kind of break it up. Like first it was find kindness, and it was show kindness. And now we're at using kind words because that's been a big problem in our house with name calling and things like that. Escalates with our age. So we're go back to the family goal and we're using kind words. We've been on kindness for quite a while. I think we need to stay there for a while. But again, as you're saying, the main things for us also is scheduling and the food list. Again, at the moment of that, we'll add food requests to Alexa right then and there, get some of that shopping ideas to go away. So when you're at the grocery store, things are easy peasy and you know which meals you want. I'll ask the kids if they have any requests. My daughter loves broccoli beef for some reason, so that's one of her requests all the time. My son loves chicken, but chicken breast only. So they'll throw in the requests and we get those out. We also make a plan for which days we're eating out versus in. Again, helping the shopping list easy. But yeah, it is figuring out what works for you, because obviously you can see from Lindsay's and mine, it is a little bit different. It's not going to be the same. So I would suggest taking from even just listening to us talk, what seems more appealing to you, or what things seem like they'd work or wouldn't work for you. Start with that. And again, it's not always having to be the same, and listening to having the kids, what are their ideas? I think that's the whole point, is making this safe space where they feel that they can express their opinions and not be shot down for it. I mean, not necessarily have to say yes to everything. I'm sure you're not saying yes to the cell phone yet, but it's a place for them to bring it up and know and have it on the list that, we can talk about it. Doesn't mean you're getting it, but yes, we can have those conversations that we need to. And I love the family planning, the family vacations and things like that you're doing it together. We've even got maps out before, and like when we did our road trips, like where do we want to stop, which directions we want to go, and having them map it out with us as well. My husband did more of it, but at least they were watching it. Mm-hmm. But it really is just a place to do all these things and make it work for you. Pick that time and keep up with it.
And I think that's a great point that you just said. Like sometimes they're just seeing my husband do it, and it's in watching or hearing these conversations that the kids are actually soaking it all in. So people ask me all the time, like, well, how young is too young? And I'm like, if you have a baby, sit that baby at the table for the meeting. It's great. Like they're still there. They might not be fully participating, but have them there. And
one of the things actually I said to my husband was, one of the reasons why I've been even wanting to family meetings, because if we make it a habit now, as they're little, as they become teenagers and wanderers, try to get them all together, they know that this is something that has to be done. Like it's become a habit. It's not something. So we're trying to instill those value, that process now, so that later on, like, no, you can't miss this. We are scheduling this time and you need to stick to it. And so I'm just pre-thinking that down the road because I know that day is coming.
Our kids are probably about your kids' age when we started. And, it was a struggle at first. It wasn't, all fun and enjoyous at the family meeting. There were fights. There were like, they didn't want to be there, but, as we made it more and more of a priority and said, like, you can fight us on this, but you're not going to win this fight. And kind of doing this takeaway close, like you can be part of the meeting and get your voice heard and have your opinion matter, or you can go sit in your room and not join the meeting and we'll plan your life for you. And, for our kids, they were like, wait, no, I want to say in this.
We've used similar wording too, like just because like this is your chance to say what you would like to have happen this week. And I just honestly feel the sooner you do it, the sooner it just becomes a habit and you get through the tough parts. I mean, it's going to take some time to figure it out. It's going to take time to see what works for your family, what they agree to. And again, like I said, I still haven't renamed our family meeting. That's like one of your first things that you suggested, which I missed that part. And so I'm thinking doing those things going back will, as we make it our own more and more, will help this process even more.
Exactly.
Just bring your family together and have them all part of the decision making.